All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. This morning, we have a very special treat for you guys on Morning Perspective. We've got three great friends of mine who are doing amazing things. We're going to talk about a nonprofit out of Virginia called Giving Words that's doing just incredible things for single moms. Let's get started. You guys are going to love this one.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right. What's happening? Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Man, this is a good-looking crew here, huh? This looks like we should just take this whole crew, man, and pile it up, take it to some news station, and take it over. Good morning, guys. Well, thank you guys for being here, man. I'm excited to dive into this topic, man. You guys know, everybody that watches this show knows how passionate I am about trying to help people and trying to give back. And these guys are doing some unbelievable things to give back to single mothers. And I'm going to kick it off here by introducing you guys to a guy that how long have we known each other, Eddie? How long we've been connected? It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Time flies when you're having fun and making an impact, right? So Eddie and I met just like I actually, Bruce is the only person on this screen right now that I've actually met in person. But I feel like I know everybody here, like we're all family. So, but Eddie and I have had several phone conversations about his mission and what he's doing and the impact that he's making. And I wanted to bring these guys on today because they're doing something special for mothers, specifically for Mother's Day. So I'm going to kick it off by letting Eddie tell you a little bit about what he's doing, why he started what he's doing, and the impact that these guys are making. So take it away, Eddie.
All right, will do. Well, I would like to start it off with just something that you said earlier in this week. And you said, when great people come together, great things happen. And that just really just sounded out loud for me. And so we started Giving Words about 3 years ago. And it's a passion of my wife and I. And we were single parents and kind of went through that experience ourselves. And just really have a heart for that. And we kind of looked at that gap that we had in our own lives and the disparities there and how to fill those gaps. And so we created partnerships that have come together to work with us in that process. There we go. I lost you in a second.
Did I lose you guys?
Yeah.
Just for a little bit.
Okay, perfect. All right, cool. We're back. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. So we partnered with a little over 60 partners. We've got partners from CTE programs. One of the things that we looked at when we started doing this is just a large number of single moms that need help. And so through these mission-driven partnerships, we've been able to bridge the gap and extend that help. And so one of the partnerships is career and technical education, where we're using students to repair these cars, and it kind of creates a double impact. We're not only serving single moms and bridging that gap, but we're also using students to build character and empathy as well. And so that's been pretty powerful for us and our moms, and bridging that gap and creating that community and connection.
It's amazing. And you've told me, some of the specific stories about some of the things that you've been able to do, and every one of them, man. When you have a charity like this and you have a mission, it seems like it's such a big movement, it's such a big thing. And then when you dig into it and you actually hear the individual stories, and those, I think that's the most important thing that people can remember about the impact that you make is like, when you donate your money, I got chills just thinking about this. When you donate money, whether it's $5, $100, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is, those dollars actually make a difference. Those dollars end up making an impact on somebody's life. And you never know, man. I've heard so many stories of people that, were in a bad place, and just that one thing, that somebody was able to do for them just changed everything, right? It gave them hope when they may not have had any. And man, that's what creates people into the version of themselves that God made them to be. And, sometimes it just takes one of us here on earth to reach out, make that difference, and take some time, whether it's saying hello to somebody, being kind, donating money, giving your time, doing something like you guys are doing with this Mother's Day package. All of these things make a difference, right? And I always talk about the ripple effect, right? And so when you have something that you try to do the way that you try to make an impact and give back, maybe you feel like that impact is just small. Like, I can't give very much, or I don't have a lot of time to give, or whatever that is. But man, the ripple effect of that small little thing that you do, whether it's small or big, the ripple effect goes forever, right? I always say, you never know that person that you're kind to in the grocery store, right? Who they're going to go be kind to, and then who they're going to go be kind to, and who they're going to hold the door for that might be having a terrible day. And man, I just applaud you for what you're doing, man. And I hope that everybody, if there's one thing they take away from this episode, is you can make a difference. It doesn't matter if you give time or money or ideas or whatever it is, right? But we all have a mission here. I believe we're all put on this earth to make an impact and to help others and to lend a hand. And so, man, I'm just so proud of what you're doing, man. And anything that I can do, and anybody that's, that follows this show can do to help you. I put the ticker down at the bottom there. You guys can donate online at givingwordsva.org. I don't want to jump into the boxes yet because I'm afraid pretty soon the lady down in the corner there might smack me around if I jump ahead too soon. So I'm gonna let you guys, Vicki and Bruce, I'm gonna let you guys talk about the packages real quick and kind of what you guys are doing, how you came up with this idea, why you did. I know you guys wanted to support Eddie, but I want to hear from you guys on why this is special to you and why you want to make an impact.
Yeah, so Brian, I'll jump in and thank you for having us on this morning. I feel like I'm with my brothers and sisters here with Vicki and Eddie. I'll just jump in for a second. I've known Eddie probably a year now. We met through some groups that we do together. And when I learned what he did, first of all, I'm kind of the word guy. And giving words, if you look at the logo up on the side of his screen there, it's all about giving hope and caring and help, et cetera. And my story's a little different because but what Eddie is doing, my family benefited from when I was born. So we had a gap. And Eddie to me is a huge gap filler. My gap was a medical trauma that my mother had when she was born. And she suffered a major heart failure during surgery. She should have passed away. She did not. But the gap that was filled was our community. The church members, she needed 18 pints of blood for the heart-lung machine. 16 of those pints came from church members. Neighbors put together food chains, laundry chains, grocery shopping chains to help because my father was alone with my brother and my two grandparents. 60 days she fought a battle and didn't fight. So when I got to meet Eddie and I got to understand a little bit more about what he does, it may sound simple, a fixed windshield that's cracked. That might be simple for us, right? But for a single mom who's back on her feet, working to get herself back going, back into the world, that could send her back into a spiral because that she can't afford that and she gets a ticket and she can't get her car through inspection. That's a problem. So what Eddie does, just one example, he'll get that windshield fixed, likely for very, very little compared to what retail would be, and keeps that mother on her path to her greatness. And I think that's the thing, that's my why. So all the things that my parents were blessed with, it's like Eddie's doing that in a whole nother amazing way. So we came together with a package for Mother's Day that folks can actually give to their mother, their grandmother, their sister, their aunt, their daughter, who are mothers, where we're celebrating them in a couple of weeks. And the net proceeds of getting that gift through what Vicki's going to talk about and share with us all goes to Eddie's program. That's why I'm so passionate about this.
Yeah, I think, man, just something that stood out there that you said is like, when people are in a tough time, right, and they're just kind of in that space where, you know, it seems like everything's a little more difficult than it actually is. Uh, you know, it is that rock that hits the windshield sometimes that like really sends somebody's life sideways. And to those of us who aren't in that place, sometimes we forget that exists, right? You know, it's one of the things that I always tell my wife, like, you know, we try to take our kids and show them the whole world, right? Not just the world that they live in, and not just the world that we're blessed to be part of, but, you know, really show them that people out there, you know, they need a hand. And it's our mission in life as a family to make an impact and to make a difference and to see those people. You know, Glenn Lundy is the reason that all of us are really on this screen and know each other. And Glenn always talks about, like, you know, just seeing people, you know, just literally taking the time to see people. And,
Right.
you know, it is something we all need reminded of. And this is such a good way to, you know, support a great cause and to let these single mothers know that they are seen and cared about, and that, you know, people out there are willing to help, you know. So, all right, we've all been waiting to hear from Vicki. So let's hear from Vicki.
Oh my, I don't know if that's good or bad. Well, I'm Vicki, and I'm one of the 3 Twang sisters. And we kind of, just a little background on us, we originated through Glenn Lundy and through the Rise and Grind family. So Susan and Gail are sisters, but I didn't know them. So that's how we met. And we actually volunteered at Glenn's first Rise and Grind event in Paris. And we did the gifts for that, just volunteered to do that. And so that kind of got us going. We went to Orlando to his first big convention, did all the gifts for him for that too. So that's kind of where our hearts are in service. We actually started in our community by just volunteering, and we still do that. And we just have servants' hearts. And so that's kind of what put us together. And what we've noticed, there's a lot of hurting people out there. I mean, especially right now during these times. And it's not so much what you do or say, because a lot of times they'll forget that, but they will never forget how you make them feel. And so we kind of turned that into gifting. We like to, our whole mission is to lift people up, lift them up higher, make them feel good about themselves, but keep them pointed toward the Lord. We do that through words. We do that through gifts. And so that's kind of the why, behind what we do. We take it a step further and we customize the gifts. And by that, I mean, we study up on the person. Like if you're going to get twanged, we call it getting twanged. So if you're going to get twanged, you reach out to us, tell us who you want to twang, and we really study that person, and we try to come up with one wow item, something that really would mean something to that person, that would have a deep meaning, and we build around that. So when Bruce and Eddie reached out to me, I think they just needed a little twang in this, and I didn't even have to think about it, because this is a God thing. What Eddie does is just amazing, and then Bruce with his book, and he is the word guy. He did an acrostic for me as well, and I may have to share that. It's kind of funny, but it's just amazing how we can lift people up. And the Twangs, we call ourselves the power lifters, because we want to lift other people up. So what we did to get involved, we put together this, I don't know if y'all can see this, mom box, and it has Bruce's book, all the book of words, and then Eddie, a girl that works for him, designed this bookmark, and it's beautiful, and it's her, she's an artist, and it's a watercolor bookmark, and Bruce came up with the acrostic for mother. And so that goes down in there. And then our touch on it, the Twangs, we decided we would go with a pearl bracelet. And the reason we chose pearls, we feel like pearl is a symbol of strength and resilience and unconditional love of a mother. If you think about how a pearl is made, it's by a grain of sand getting in an oyster, and it withstands all that grit, that irritation. So no grit, no pearl. And that's why that explains a mother perfectly, I think, because I am a mother. I'm not a single mother, but I lost, after my youngest child was born, I've had actually 2 miscarriages, and the last one almost took my life. And I was like, at that time, I kind of made a pact with the Lord, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give you my sorrow and turn that into seed. And that let me help other people. And he has done that. And the opportunities just come to me. And so when Eddie and Bruce came to us about this, I was like, this is a great way to help mothers, something I wholeheartedly believe in. My kids are my whole life. And so that's why we jumped on board. We put our special touch to it. We think the pearl just symbolizes what mothers stand for. And you can get these boxes by going to the Facebook, Twang Sisters Facebook page, and leave us a message. Tell us how many you want. And the address they're going to be delivered to, who they're going to. They're $85 a box, and all the proceeds go to Eddie's Giving Words. So I think that's, and the April 26th is our cutoff, just so we have time for shipping and preparation and all that. And we do have a PayPal link. It's paypal.me/twangsistas, SISTAS.
I was going to say before, you said you put an R in there, which I thought was completely inappropriate. I thought that was not accurate, right? I mean, is there really, and there's not really an R in there, right?
No.
Well, you said earlier, you said the Twang Sisters, and I'm like, man, I did.
I messed up.
Did Vicki move to the north real quick for that one, or is she? I got to tell you this, and I saved this for the show because I was going to send this in a message the other day when we were all communicating. But I have been such a fan of yours, Vicki. I think, just watching the way that you operate, you are the perfect example of the person who should be doing exactly what you're doing. God has definitely called you to do what it is that you're doing. You're such a sweet soul and such a special person, and what you guys are doing is amazing. So I applaud you, and I just want you to know I'm a big fan, and anything I can ever do to help you guys, I am all in to do that. And you're telling that story about that pearl, man. I had to make the joke about the R because you got me choked up thinking about my grandmother and just all the women that I know that wear pearls and the grit that it does take to be a mom. I'm thinking about my wife and what it takes to do that. And then I think about you pile all that, just the typical things that it takes to be a mom, and then you add the idea of doing that solo. And that is, that's why we're all here, right? It is such a challenging thing to be a parent in general, and to be able to do that, solo is a different challenge. And I know a lot of single moms myself. There's some in my family, and man, what you guys are doing is amazing. And I'm just so glad to be able to get this message out to people this morning and to talk about it. And so, Eddie, can you share a couple of the stories, like, just a couple of highlight stories?
Sure.
You got hundreds of them, but just some of the impact, what, if people are donating to this, they're buying these boxes, what are some of the things that are happening daily as a result of, what people are doing to support your nonprofit?
Sure. Well, you and I talked on the phone, and like last year, we looked at a 39.4% increase on the donated dollar. So we were able to help 40% more moms with our partnerships. And to give you an example of that, I'll just, with Bruce's rock story, we had if you think about a single mom, she's only going to be able to afford liability typically. So a rock actually slung up, hit one of our single moms' windshields. She pulled off on the side of the road, and she called me in tears because she immediately knew that she didn't have a solution, because she was going to have to pay for that windshield outright. And we have a partnership with the windshield company. We replaced her windshield for zero cost. They donated the labor as well as the windshield, and they've done that 6 times for us. So if you take 6 times 350, that's a substantial amount of money. And so we're able to do that. And instead of, in the business world, we're always looking at dropping money to the bottom line, and I'm always looking at dropping money to impact. And I'll tell you my $1.16 story. Jenny and I did an intake on a mom that had been out of work for about 3 months. And she had car issues, and she couldn't afford to have the car towed. So me and Jenny went to her house to do the intake. And to give you a little bit of backstory, for about 10 years, I worked on my own cars because I couldn't afford to put them in a repair shop and pay for it. So I fixed them. I was a driveway mechanic per se. My upgrade was a Tractor Supply stall mat. So I didn't have to actually lay in the gravel. I could lay on a rubber mat. And so during that period of time in my life, I kept always, just asking God the question, Lord, why this? And then obviously moving forward in the struggle and trusting and having joy in that process. So we get to this lady's house, and I look and I notice that the car is parked on the downhill slope. So the first thing I know is that it could be low on gas because the fuel pickup's at the back of the tank. So I get in the car and I look and I see that it's on E. So I'm like, okay, it's not picking up fuel. Well, she had tried to crank the car so much that it ran battery dead. So the next thing I did is I went underneath the hood, I popped the caps on the battery to see if it had any water in it. Because if it's low on water, it's not going to hold the charge. Well, it was low on water. So I went to Food Line, I bought some distilled water for $1.16, come back, topped it off, put a gallon of gas in it. I cranked the car, I moved it to flat ground, let it run for 30 or 45 minutes, and we solved that mom's issues on site for $1.16. And normally what would have happened is the car would have been towed for $2.50. It would have went to a repair shop, possibly not a Giving Words partner repair shop, and she could have ended up needing a fuel pump or whatever may have happened. And so we resolved that issue for $1.15. So a $2 donation could have impacted that mom's life and shifted the needle for her and put her back in employment, and had a major impact on her life. And so those are the things that we're looking at. And then to give you another example, on Giving Tuesday last year, we gave away 4 cars. And we're kind of operating in the 5 to 5,000 principle, just right out of the Bible. Like he took 2 fish, 5 loaves, fed 5,000. So the demographics of single moms is 16.5 million in the U.S. So if I had $1 for every one, I'd need $16.5 million. Well, if I've got a partner that's donating free windshields, look how much less I need. And so last year on Giving Tuesday, we gave away 4 cars. The Kelley Blue Book value of those 4 cars was $11,000. They went to the Career and Technical Education Program. Everything was fixed, 52-point check. They went to a partner repair shop, got a brand new inspection sticker. And so when those cars were given away, they needed no repair at all, fresh inspection sticker, $11,000 value, and I only had $700 in all 4 cars. And students worked on these cars. And so if you can imagine a student working on a car for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then when we bring the mother into the school with her child, and you watch these students see this mother get this gift, usually 1 to 2 to 3 are crying or in tears as they're watching this process, and they're watching this mother break down, and they're watching these children climb all over this car in excitement. So a byproduct is building character and empathy, and we can't buy that. I can't purchase character and empathy, but I can create a double impact, and impacting a mother and impacting our teens and seniors right before they graduate through this process. And it costs $700. And you can't put a monetary value on that. So that's just another story. There are tons of stories. We've had a lot of our repair partners, when they come on with us, we let them kind of fit into their niche. And so we've got some repair shops that have been in business only a little while that can give us a 25% discount. We've got repair shops that repair cars labor-free and part-free completely. I've had 7 repairs done at one shop at no cost. That shop is, and if you can envision this is not something that you would typically see. Can you imagine a 2005 Dodge Caravan sitting beside a 1968 split window Corvette? So we have a classic, Sevo Classic Cars does work for us. And you have all these cars that are just spectacular with the Honda Civic sitting in the middle of the shop. So I'm just watching God really move. And what we're trying to do is build a launching pad so we can be local, regional, national, because this movement is through partnerships. To give you another example how this has happened organically, we had a police officer out of Charlottesville donate a dryer. So, and I'm a connect the dots guy. So I called a storage facility, and they gave us a 50% discount to put that dryer in. Then we had a mom in the middle of winter, and in the middle of winter, you can't hang your clothes on the clothesline. And so we gave her the dryer. I picked up a broken dryer. So now I've got a broken dryer. So do I put that in the dump? Or what if I had a partner that was an appliance repair shop? So I reached out to an appliance repair shop, told them what we're doing. A diagnostic fee is $75, and then you've got to have labor and part repair. They waive the diagnostic fee. They waive the part fee. They waive the labor fee. So all I do is pay for the part. So if it's a switch, I can take a broken dryer, pay $15, and now I can give that to another mother. And so now we're looking at not only being being able to take something that's broken and restore it, but give it away and create a double impact in that process as well. So we're always looking at double impact. How can I double impact?
I'm going to tell you this, man. You guys all know I'm a business mind. So I'm thinking about the impact, but I'm also thinking about like just how to make this thing fly. Right. And as you're describing this, man, I got chills all over my body for the last 20 minutes here. I think we all know what that means. And so for me, what I would like to do, man, is help you from the marketing standpoint, be able to tell these stories and get them out there more, because I think that's the part that is missing. To, nobody would not support this. Everybody would support it if it was out there more. If we were telling these stories every day, people would be called to support it more. Out of sight, out of mind, as they say. I don't think it's that people don't want to support it. It's that there's a million things. What's in front of people the most is going to get the most impact. So, man, I'll commit to you. You and I will work together on how to build out, some of the social media reach and some of the things that we can do where we can actually get this story out there, across the country. You were just telling me, before we came on here, that people in Arizona are raising money for you, and it's amazing. And I think that the more you tell these stories, the more it resonates with people, and the more it just makes sense for them to reach in their wallet or donate time, or you're going to have businesses that are honored to be part of that network that give back and make an impact. So for me to you, man, the business mind on my side is spinning over here. So, let's connect after this and figure out how we can get this out there more, where people are actually, committed to sharing it. And everybody that's watching here, that's how these things happen. It's how I've built my businesses. It's how I know all these people. It is through literally as simple as a like, comment, or a share, or tagging somebody in this post. You have no idea how much power that has. When you tag the right person or you share it and the right person reaches it. Again, going back to Glenn, he says you never know, who might need to hear something on what day, and who might be ready to help, ready to write a check, ready to support in some way that they can, whether it's giving time or giving money. But I think that, just the reach, man, is the only thing stopping you from helping more people. And, so I'm committing to you here that I will help you do that in any way that I can, and whatever resources I've got to be able to, push it forward. I'm all in. So, Bruce, what are some of the things that stand out about what Eddie's done that kind of drew you into this? I know there's always the heart tugs that get you, man. When I talked to him, I was like, man, I don't know how I can help this guy, but I know I need to in some way, shape, or form, right? And so what is that for you?
Yeah, and I felt the same way. It's how, right? What can I do, right? My brother is the mechanic. So the difference between my brother and I is I break things, he fixes things. So immediately, Eddie and I felt like a brother.
Good relationship.
Yeah, it was. And so, I think one of the things that drew me to it is that there are so many ways you can get in where you fit in, right? So Eddie's got these partnerships that are just logically connected. It just makes sense, right? So for me, with the words and the ability to just kind of encourage and get in some way, we put the package together with the book in it. I just felt like that was just one thing that drew me in. I mean, you think about $1.16, not $350, and that may sound like 350 is not significant, but it is significant, right? It could be the one thing that breaks the back of someone who's really pulling themselves out and working hard to deliver to their family and do the things they want to do for their family. So the fact that, financially he's got a way to build these partnerships, and these kids, right? Their character building by, they maybe rebuilt that transmission and they know that that mom has a car now. That's what pulled me in. It's just the impact, the levels of impact that something like this can have. And, like you get in where you fit in. That's really what drew me to it.
Yeah, I love that, man. And I agree, man. The first time I talked to Eddie, I'm like, man, I don't know how I can help this guy right now, but I always just say this, man, you just hang around. God will figure that out for you.
Right.
Amen.
Around, wait for it, man. And when the time is right, and I really believe that, Eddie, that, between the reach that we have within the community that we're part of and, putting, I always say, a lot of these things, it's about making it simple for people to participate. Right. And so I think that's what it comes down to, being able to tell those messages, getting people like these guys, supporting it and doing these types of projects, which increases the reach and visibility. And man, I'm excited. Somebody said it in the Sarah Ball said, just got goosebumps at the vision of this ripple roaring through the world. I agree. And listen, these doing things like this are what starts it sometimes. It's just getting it out there, letting people hear the story. Vicki, what is it about this that makes you all warm and fuzzy? I know it makes you emotional. So what is the thing that gets you the most?
Well, I tell you, Eddie and Bruce they're amazing people. And this is just, we talk about everything's a twang thing. Well, this is a God thing. It really is. And I have felt nudges from God a whole lot in the past year. My whole life has completely changed. But I think we have to lean into those nudges, because really it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about what God can do through you and through us. And so for me, this was just a big opportunity to give back. And it's exciting when God's hands in it. He connected all of us from Rise and Grind to, that's how I met both of these guys. That's how I met all y'all. So I just think the connections and the collaborations and the ways to give back. I mean, you're attracted. What you put out there is what you get back. And I'm attracted to people that have a servant's heart, that want to give back, that want to impact others and make a difference, because really it's not about us at all. It's about, who you taking with you, who you going to help. So that's what gets me warm and fuzzy, just the fact that the twangs can put a little twang to it, but we can also help these mothers and help Eddie and Bruce, because Bruce is the most humble person I know. He never even really talks much about his book, but his book is amazing, and he is the word guy. And so he just has an amazing way with words, and the power of life and death is in the tongue. And so words can tear down or build up. And I just think we all need to kind of lock arms and use this time to build others up, to lift them up higher, and to keep them pointed toward the Lord. So that's kind of the core of our business. If it doesn't line up with those things, we're not going to do it.
Man, Vicki taking us to church this morning. I love it. Listen, I couldn't, everything in my life, the blessings that I have and the family, everything is such a gift, it's such a gift. And I always say this, like, man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do all that. Right. Like, and we're not doing all this, right? We just happen to be here. Right. And to your point, Vicki, words are powerful. What you're talking about right now is going to inspire somebody and get them to take action. I've heard the tongue is the rudder of your life. What you put out, it will absolutely steer the direction of the boat that you're riding in. And man, I'm so excited to see what happens from this. And so there's a lot of people. We got a lot of comments to go back through. So you guys will have to help me with that. There's people asking where to order things, how they can support, how they can, how they can get in contact with people. People want shirts. So I think we've reached a lot of people here and got some visibility. And man, I'm just so grateful to have all you guys in my life, and thankful that you reached out and asked to do this. And I look forward to being part of this in any way that I can. And
you know what, Ron? This is just phase one. We came out with it on Mother's Day with Eddie's, giving words, and it's all about mothers. So it was very appropriate, but this is just phase one. So we're all locking arms and we're rolling with it. So stay tuned.
So Vicki, should we share what's on the bookmark?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll read it. So this is tough for me to get through, guys, because I thought about this. I thought about my mother, and we all have a special place for our mom in our heart. But so what's on that bookmark says, on this Mother's Day, and I just take the word, guys, I write it vertically, and I just use the letters to define what that word means to me. So this was my definition of mother. See if I can get through this thing. On this Mother's Day, M, mothers make our world better. O, offers comfort and support. T, takes care of us. H, hear in ways we don't know. E, expects little in return. And R, remember these things today. So that's my celebration of Mother's Day that's coming up, and I'm just honored to be able to write this for Eddie and for hopefully all the moms out there that'll, receive this gift.
Man, Bruce, I can only imagine how proud your mom is of just the way that you tell her story, and the way that you share that was such. You could just feel it, man. I got chills just saying what I just said, but because it always has. Like, I've heard you tell the story so many times, man. And when you talk about your mom, it just has so much love. And that's what this is about, right? It's about single moms is what we're supporting, but all moms, right? And at the end of the day, man, where would we be without them?
Right.
Lost.
Absolutely.
And if the three of us were on here without the mom we got here, we'd be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
If we didn't have Vicki on here, buddy, we'd be getting into all kinds of stuff we probably shouldn't be talking about. So
glad I could help, guys.
Man, I'm just thankful that you guys spent this time with everybody this morning telling this story. I can't wait to do it more. I can't wait to help get this message out. And if anybody needs to order boxes or get in contact, click the link. I put it in the comments in here. I'll pin that as soon as we get off of here. But givingwordsva.org is the place that you can donate money. You can order your boxes by going to facebook.com/the Twang Sistas. No R, Sistas.
Right.
Sisters.
And, man, I can't wait to see how many people order these things and how much money we can raise from this. So, again, if you guys have not shared this out, please do it. You never know what impact you can make just by clicking that button. So I appreciate you guys being here with me this morning. And, man, just awesome to be able to tell this story and have the opportunity to reach people. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Any parting words? We'll go around and have some parting words here. Eddie?
I'd like to share just a giving word story, actually, just real quick. I talked about moms, and we talked about this being a God thing. And so, I'm one that always wants to serve. And so one of our partner repair shops, I was in there one day, and, there was a disgruntled employee, customer that was kind of giving them a hard time. They had a car and something broke, and it was going to take a while to get the part. And this is kind of a God story about giving words. And so we had, looked at a building. We didn't have the money to buy a building to get an office. We went through the county, and somebody else ended up buying the building we were looking at. And so I'd been praying about a location. And so back to this partner repair shop, I'd been getting my cars fixed there probably for about 15 years. And I never knew it had a second floor. And so one of the things that I did at that partner repair shop is periodically I would buy pizza. And so what ended up happening is somebody bought it 2 years ago, and the employees told the new owner, hey, Eddie is going to be your best customer because he pays to get his car fixed and he buys us pizza. And so the gentleman, the new owner, we started having lunch and stuff like that. And what had happened is he found out the deal with the office fell through, and he's like, well, I have a second floor, right? And I was like, no, I didn't realize you had a second floor. And he's like, well, come here and look at it. And it's full of motors and tires and everything else. Well, so what ended up happening is he donated that office space to Giving Words. And so I basically have a Giving Words office that was through pizza.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just, there's tons of stories like that. So we actually have an office space that helps with that 39.4% number because I don't pay rent.
Just amazing.
Yeah. So just, this is a God thing. God's, it's kind of like looking at Nehemiah and the things that was provided for Nehemiah as he moved along his journey. and what he needed when he needed was provided. And that's kind of the way I look at giving words. And then for giving words, I want this to outlive my life cycle. So I want to build systems and processes that are in place that this can continue to serve when I'm gone.
Amazing, man.
Wow.
So proud of you. So proud of you. Bruce, any parting words?
So I do. One thing that I realized of the four of us, plus everyone else that's out here listening, and I believe everybody in this world has gifts. And Eddie has definitely shared, his gift, and Vicki and Brian, with what you do, both professionally, but also all of your giving. And I just would love everyone to just realize that they all have a unique gift, whether it's this program or some other that they can participate in. And if they don't believe it, they just need to look at the word gift and write it vertically. God installed features to share. We all have them. And I would just encourage everyone just to look for a way today to be a gift to somebody in whatever way they can. I'm out.
Vicki,
Mic drop.
it's only appropriate that the mother finishes us off.
Oh, well, I just think any opportunity that we can to lift others up, that's what we're #love lifted gifted. And that's what we're about. And we can all do that in various ways by words, gifts, and it doesn't have to cost money. There's so many other ways to lift people up. And there's a lot of hurting people out there. And just from my own personal experience, if you will lift that sorrow up and ask God to make it seed, he will show you lots of ways that you can make a difference. So I encourage everybody to do that and just let God shine his light through you.
Love it. I love it. Thank you guys for being here, man. This was what a great way to start my day. And I hope that everybody, I saw a lot of people shared this out. So hopefully it reaches a lot of people. We'll be coming back to you guys in the comments throughout the day here. There's a lot of them, so give us some time, but we will get back to you. Thank you guys for being here. And man, thank you to everybody that's been here, commenting, sharing, liking, etc. So just means the world to all of us. And anything you guys can do, to Vicki's point, man, it's not just about money. It's about using your talents, using your gifts, donating your time. Anything that you can do makes a difference. So use what it is that God has given you, and you will make a massive impact on this world and live the most full life that you could ever imagine. So thank you guys for being here. And I will see everybody else tomorrow morning. Well, I'll see all of you guys tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. again, right here on Morning Perspective. Thank you guys for being here. Love you guys.
Peace out.